And what's going on, guys? Actually,
Oh,
I
hey.
gotta move over here. Hold on.
No, you got to get in there. Slide on in. Get
I like
yourself
to
in
talk
there.
like this.
Just get off screen. Hello. Just be the voice over here. That is funny.
Welcome to Malbec and Malt, episode 6.
6. Wow, we've gotten here this far. I feel like we should
We
celebrate.
have gotten here this far.
Oh, episode 6. Great.
So yeah, and this is great. Today we're going to be talking about some news topics. But
our own news topics.
The New York Jets, right here.
Always.
2016 preview. Because you know why? Like, you knew this was coming. We've been talking about the Jets a lot. You knew this was coming.
You might want to slide over. You're like half.
No, what are you talking about?
You good?
Right. Yeah, I'm good.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I think so.
Just checking.
I mean, my face is a little big. I would hit the gym, I think. But so what's going to happen? I just want to let everybody know before we start. So Mike will be out of the office.
I will be. I'll be
for
traveling
the next 2 to 6 weeks.
Actually, I'll be in New York.
Right. You'll be in New York and then Los Angeles. Right?
A couple of weeks later. So
Okay.
I'll be in and out.
All right.
I don't go to Los Angeles.
So the plan right now, and it's sort of like a kind of shot in the dark plan. So we'll see.
Shot in the dark.
But so we want to talk about the Jets today. We'll have a friend come in a week or maybe even earlier than that to talk about the Giants. And we'll have somebody else, one of our other friends, come in and talk about the Buffalo Bills.
At some point. But then again, he's also very close to having a baby. So the chance of him getting out of the house at any point.
That's true. Well, we'll see if he has an
Maybe
hour.
we can just Craigslist it.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, you know what would be really interesting? If we actually just Craigslist all of our guests.
We could.
That would
Although I'll
be
have
funny.
27 random strangers in my house.
You also have like 27 Panther fans.
Right.
Because we're in Charlotte. That's where we are. Hey.
I could get a Panthers person. That's
yes, we can. Speaking of Panthers, we touched on this last week. So Josh Norman wants to be the highest paid guy.
Yeah, so
he wants $16 million. Let me tell you right now, if I'm Ron Rivera, I totally expose him. I say, go ahead, go get that deal. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I don't give him $16 million a year.
Well, he doesn't have a leg to stand on
I don't.
right now.
Because the truth of the matter is, that is a great defense.
Yeah.
You were not the shutdown corner that made that defense. That was a very good defense. You were a very good player. You were not a $16 million player. And I'm telling you right now, you're seeing the league. Cornerback salaries went out the roof, and now they're starting to come back down. He's not getting $16 million. And you know what? Let his agent say, well, he's going to hold out. He's going to do great. If I'm the Panthers, I go, great.
Yeah, he'll make his 13 this year. There's no way he's sitting out the year. He's not paying that money back. He knows damn well that he probably was a one-year wonder.
I'm not going to say he's a one-year wonder.
I think from what he did,
from what he did. But what I'm saying is, I'm not going to question the whole kid's future. I'm not saying he's not going to be a good player, but I'm just saying for you to come out and you're right, have one good year and be like, I'm $16 million a year, earn it. No, you know what? You know what you tell them? Go on one-year deals. Okay, I'm $13 million this year. Give me one-year deals. Like Revis. Didn't Revis do that with Tampa Bay? He went on one-year deals.
Oh, yeah.
He went on one-year deals. Right?
With an option.
That's how you prove it. With an option.
Player option.
Anyway, and even Revis probably admit right now he's not $16 million a year.
Yeah. I mean, with Josh Norman.
But he's made a fortune.
The one thing about Josh Norman, which is interesting, and it's kind of the knock on Janoris Jenkins a little bit. I mean, I'm hearing that out of the Giants. Is that he was a product of his defensive line, and we're familiar with that as Jets fans with D. Milner. And there's other people that are.
Well, Alabama, I said it right off the bat. You guys got to run with somebody for 2 seconds. Not even that, because that defensive line was so good.
Right, and if you have a Luke Kuechly, you have a Starlet Tui, and you have a Charles Johnson this year.
You getting that out?
Thank you very much. You have a Jared Allen, who is a Hall of Famer. You're going to look a little bit better. Now he was a great player, but. Let's not forget that Giants game where he got exposed against Odell Beckham. And by the way, and it was more emotion, I get that, but Josh Norman in fourth quarters was a ghost. And that's where it counts, And I mean, that's what it is.
How many times did they almost melt down the Panthers this year?
Oh, God.
That Giants meltdown.
They were great in the beginning of the year, but at the end of the year, they were melting down. I don't want to knock the
Panthers. As an organization, they seem to hold themselves very well. But it's just
coming
out. $16 million.
Do you think they do? I don't know if they do.
I don't know.
I mean, when you have your coach, Ron Rivera, saying, hey, Cam Newton's going to be Cam Newton, like, what does that even mean? Like, you're going to put up with that shit?
It takes you to a Super Bowl. How much you're going to say to him? I mean, if you're 4-12.
What do they say about the second place?
First loser. I get it. Oh, man, that's still got to be painful for Panther fans. We're sorry.
And they haven't been there in, 20 years? I mean,
no,
if I'm a Jets
we haven't been there in 50.
I mean,
is it almost, how many years is it? Since 69?
Who, the Jets?
70. So
the Jets. No, I'm thinking about the Panthers. No, the Jets.
Season. Yeah, I mean, oh my God, dude, forget about it. Panthers fans, you should be happy.
You should be happy.
Happy.
If it was Jets,
I'd still be celebrating.
I'd be drunk for 2 weeks.
Still celebrating.
I wouldn't. I'd never. It'd be a party.
Still be wearing face paint right now.
Well, no, maybe after
I'd be
a while,
having
I'd
face paint on right now.
I'd be crying my face paint off.
Anyway, it's crazy, man. What's going on right now? Free agency still going on. And if we're going to talk about the Jets, we still talk about Ryan Fitzpatrick sitting out there right now. Again, he's another one trying to hold out for all that money. I mean, listen, you've got the pundits, you know, the Ian Rappaports and the Adam Shines and the Adam
And hey guys, sorry about that.
Yeah, Jesus, somebody didn't update their software.
This came on live right away.
God.
Anyway. So there could be like a little
Jim, what were you
bit of a
doing
gap.
standing next to Michael like that? Very inappropriate.
So welcome back, our viewers. I think we just had 5 viewers. Do we have 5 viewers during our blackout? Oh, that's fucking. That says a lot about our fucking channel.
Can't be that.
More people tune in than we're blacked out.
I love that.
So yeah. So what I was saying about McCagnon was I think he did a good job. Now, I think this year, right? So I think this year is going to be it could possibly be a down year, only because of the fact that we lost a lot of players. Okay, and
no, we only lost Harrison. He's really the only guy I'm really concerned
if we lose
with.
Fitzpatrick, to me that's a lot.
Oh yeah,
I mean, we haven't signed him yet.
But again, you know, guys, here you're right. You're right. You know what? I'm gonna let you finish the story. Good.
I'm pulling it while I'm talking right now. I'm trying to pull up the new Jets schedule because
it's brutal schedule.
It's a brutal schedule, and I kind of want a part of this. I want to go through and maybe kind of say, hey, look, maybe they'll do this and do that. But it's a brutal schedule, and you know, and here's a problem with I have with like a Todd Bowles, and I like Todd Bowles, but the problem is that I don't know where they're gonna. I don't know what kind of identity this team has yet.
Really, I thought it was a no identity. That's what I liked. What I mean was like it was just.
But that's
quiet.
a bad thing.
No. It was in Rex Ryan outspoken. It was a fall in the formation. Let's work together as a team identity. That's what I felt like it was. And by the way, a team needs a few years to really gel. So I think, you know, going into this year, McCagnon has a plan.
Usually the second year is when you see something.
I don't know. I think he's going in with a plan. I think, you know, we got it. Like they said, you got to get a little younger. You got to find some players. You know, think about it. Our 2012 draft, we have nobody. So that's a whole draft class where nobody developed.
Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, so I don't, you know, okay, I'll get into the fact that I don't like Changeli. It's not nothing personal. I don't
had a record-setting year with him, but I mean,
I don't think he's a good offensive coordinator. It could have
31 touchdowns.
All right, so if
4,000.
but how do you say that? But they
just saying.
You just said it about the Porsche before. He got a Porsche. Look, by the way, he didn't do shit in Buffalo.
Actually, Changeli has been pretty good developing quarterbacks. If you really look at over the course of his
But he had
history,
Ryan Fitzpatrick in Buffalo, who was
no, but he also developed. I think he had Tyler Thigpen at one point, and actually gave him a monster year one time. So I think the guy is,
in my opinion, I don't like him.
Okay.
I think he's too.
Agree to disagree.
He's too vanilla. I think, and we agreed when we saw plays that needed to happen.
Okay.
Running plays that were never called. And Mike, you know, how many times did I say, hey, look, they're going to be run the ball.
Yeah,
look, they're going to pass. It was so fucking predictable.
Well, and I think a lot of that had to do with the backfield. And I think a lot of that had to do when Ivory was in the backfield, you knew it was going to be a run. And when he got to third down, you knew it was going to be a pass. And I agree with you. But I think that's what he was stuck with last year. So I think now all of a sudden you got Bilal Powell, who's used to being a third down back. You've brought in Matt Forte, who is an every down back. And then I think the only time you know it's going to be a running play is when it's Keroy Robinson sitting back there. So I don't know. Let's get the guy another year. Again, 1 year in a system. It's like
no, I'm going to give him another year. I'm just putting an opinion out there that let's, you know, if you're a Jets fan,
record-setting offensive year, but
if you're a Jets fan,
you should totally crucify the guy.
And you're going to well, here's my point. If you're a Jets fan, you watch this channel, right? And you're going to have
who's the best Jets offensive coordinator we've had over the years?
Put a comment in the YouTube in the comments.
Who's the best Jets offensive coordinator we've had?
But last year was not good. It was a failure.
31 touchdown passes.
You're saying last year was a success.
We threw a little bit.
You don't think we no.
We had a quarterback. We had Ryan Fitzpatrick. Ryan Fitzpatrick threw for 4,000 yards. It's not like Tom Brady was our quarterback and we threw, and it's like, oh, you know, threw 4,000. Ryan Fitzpatrick managed to throw for 4,000 yards with Changeli making the calls.
It was a failure. They missed the playoffs. It's a failure.
Well, it's a failure. Yeah,
it's a failure when you spend all that money.
Chan.
I'm not blaming Chan. I'm saying
and all that money we spent on defense. How pissed off were you and I with the defense last year?
No, I agree.
Because we thought the defense
and Bowles is a defensive coach.
Shut down.
And Bowles is a defensive coach. And you know what? You don't fire Rex Ryan. I'll put this finger up because you can't see this one. You don't fire Rex Ryan to go into another non-playoff year. You know, because I don't have PSLs. I don't live in New York.
Yeah.
If I had a PSL, I would be fucking pissed. And
actually, my family has them.
I would be pissed because why would I have? You promised me a winning team every year. And Woody Johnson's got to go on fucking stage and say, hey, this is the best team I've ever had. And I have, this is the team. I think this is the year. We were in London and they're putting up fucking fullbacks and all this bullshit and putting a parade out there saying, hey, okay, guess what, guys? This team 3-1 this year.
They delivered in London, though.
They did.
Yeah,
but we were all excited because, like, holy shit,
I'm surprised
this might be the greatest team.
I'm surprised the Dolphins let Tannenbaum back on a plane.
Well, anything in Miami, anything with a Tana, anything with a Tana is a bad thing.
Apparently, Tannen.
There's no good Tanas.
That's the big threat. But apparently, he got a new coach this year. He'll be even better.
Unless you're Danny Tanner.
Oh Jesus!
There's no good.
Do you know why? Do you know why nobody gives? I'll tell you why nobody gives Ryan Tannehill shit. Why they really all
his
want.
Wife is fucking.
It's probably his wife, but it's also because he's a tall white guy. And when he's a tall white guy in the NFL playing quarterback, you get a little bit of a pass.
That's true. If you look at Ben Roethlisberger,
African American black quarterback, and you actually are not playing very well, you're an EJ Manuel or something like that, you're suddenly considered a bust quarterback. And I'll just said it. I said it.
But I think Tannehill's better than EJ Manuel.
Because let me tell you right now, if Johnny Manziel was standing at 6'4", well, he'd probably be a better player. But whatever. He probably wouldn't get it because you know what it is? Everybody's easy to pick on him at 5'7". He's 5'7", 5'6", 5'11", 5'5",
I thought he was
5'4", 3, 5'1". Spud Webb.
Was he a fucking leprechaun?
He looks like a fucking leprechaun back there.
But that goes more to your point. The
And
fact that Manziel's,
it's the truth. I'm sticking up for black quarterbacks.
it's the fact, but you're right. You made your own point with Manziel.
Ryan Tannehill's a good-looking kid who drops back, and everybody wants to. He's going to get better. He's going to get better. He's going to get better. Okay, he's going to get better.
No, How
about fucking mediocre's better?
I don't think it has anything to do with the size. I think
I'm sure he's a nice guy though. I'd probably hang out with Ryan Tannehill.
Well, you said with Manziel, he's now it's becoming an apologetic kind of thing where it's like, oh, but he's 21. What do you expect? What do you expect?
Professionalism?
Yeah, maybe you were drafted in the first fucking round. Like, come on.
I don't think it's becoming a league anymore. I think now coaches, how quickly their jobs turn over, all this. I mean, I think realistically, nobody's going to pick them up. And if they do, it'll be a developmental project. Like, you know what? I need another arm in camp. Doesn't hurt to have him. But I think him being a guy where people are suddenly going to be like, you know what? Let's bring Manziel in because he's really going to shake things up. His number's been had. He's a gunslinger. He'll throw the ball. Look, he did it against the Jets. He threw touchdowns to Travis Benjamin. You know what? But I don't think that was pure skill. I think that was pure, I'm just going to heave the ball out there to a very fast guy who's out on the perimeter.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's get back to Jets. I don't want to pick on McCagan. And I know you're not. I think the challenge. I think what you need to do is you got to give a guy a couple of years of a plan. I just came in. This isn't mine. This is what I think we need. Going into the second year, now I start putting more of my plan together. We only had a handful of draft picks last year. I thought the draft for the most part did us okay. I think Leonard Williams is going to be a beast. Okay. You give him this year and then you give him into next year. Cause now at that point, that's his team. That's his guys. He's been drafting into the third.
But this isn't a young team. This is not.
No, but what I'm saying is
you can't wait 1-2 years because then DeBrickashaw is 35, Mangold's 36.
No. What I'm saying is what I'm saying is you got to give him a little bit of time to get his guys in place. That doesn't mean you're going to suck. Just because you get younger, it doesn't mean you're going to suck. I just think you got to give him a chance to get his guys in his place.
I think.
It's like judging a college coach after 1 year recruiting and being like, "Oh, you're terrible."
That's a lot different. That's different. That's way different. Because in college, there's no opportunity to do it.
In college, you don't have a salary cap.
Yeah, but last year they spent how much money? $60 million.
And for the most part, it paid off. They won 10 games.
Right, but they didn't make the playoffs.
All right, but I'm saying they went from 4-12
and they didn't win.
Games.
They didn't win the most important game. They should have won.
All right.
And this is my.
I blame the quarterback for that.
I'm not blaming.
And that's why he's on the street.
My issue with this whole thing is that if he was, and this is where I go back to identity.
All right.
Why is Bowles now saying he wants to go to a 4-3? If he was bringing in players last year to fit his system, then why is he going to a 4-3?
I don't think that he's saying he wants to go to a 4-3. I think he's basically looking. I have challenges at linebacker right now, and unless I can get another fourth guy in there and I feel comfortable with it, I might as well as stack that line with Sheldon Richardson, Leonard Williams, Mo Wilkerson, and then one of the.
Well, Leonard Williams hasn't proven he's a 3-down player yet.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now. Well, maybe he will be a 3-down when you have 4 people in there. So he was only 20 years old. That guy's testosterone hasn't even kicked in yet.
Yeah, that's true.
He is going to be a freak. At 20 years old, his balls are still probably dropping. Okay? That kid's going to be a freak. That hair is going to be down to here by next year. You know what? Testosterone is just going to blow out of that
it's
kid.
going up that way.
Suddenly, he's going to be built like this, like this. He's going to be a freak.
I think he's going to be a great player. I
think he's going to be a long-time Jet player.
And I don't want to sound like the jaded Jet fan.
And I do not.
I don't want to sound like
USC.
I don't want to sound like the salty Jet fan.
Go Knowles.
But
sorry, I don't mean it.
Go Knowles.
No, I don't like USC. I said go Knowles. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to upset anybody with the chant. I just like the Knowles.
Yes, we're pro Native Americans.
Pro Native. What? We lived by an Indian reservation growing up.
We did actually.
I did. I lived right near one.
Yeah, me too.
All about it. Now they sell tobacco products
for cheap.
Lots of them.
So I think now that's my opinion.
Cancer.
Mike has a different opinion. Obviously, that's why this is a good dynamic. If we just said, "Hey guys, I like the Jets," and that's it. Goodbye. Like this would be a shitty fucking show. But this, and you know what? So if you want to go into it, we talked about Fitzpatrick.
We should really judge McCaggan too after the draft, because like what happens over the next couple of weeks?
Well,
this
I think
where it gets
he got a fucking gift with Leonard Williams. I will, and I'm look, I know,
but he got a gift that he didn't bobble. Like some regimes, I think in the past would have been like, we did not need Leonard Williams.
No, I know. Well,
we did not need him. No, you had Sheldon Richardson, you had Damian Harrison, and you had Mo Wilkerson. You did not need him. But they stuck to it. Best player on the board.
He does come from a Texan organization where you can't have enough defense. So that's also a point. I mean, but you know, and
could have took a wide receiver. Needed one of those.
To be quite honest,
could have grabbed Kevin White.
To be quite honest, you had a choice, and it would. You're right in the fact that if the Raiders did take Leonard Williams, we had Amari Cooper. So either way, we would have been good.
Best player on the board.
Right. This year is going to be the true test, and I think, and I was talking to Mike about it. So
I think best player on the board.
The mock draft right now. No, I don't. I don't agree with that because I don't. How can you have the best player on the board at 20?
Best player on the board might be a guard.
He won't be.
No, best player on your board. Meaning
on your board,
you set your board and you don't draft for need, and then you go
because it's always going to be Ezekiel. Fucking what's his name? Ezekiel.
He's not coming up.
That's going to be the best on the board at the time.
No, your board. Every team sets their own board. But
so so with the guy that they're talking about right now with the Jets, and I talked to Mike about this before, is White Tier.
Get me a guard.
Kansas State. He was the right tackle for Kansas State.
Yeah,
now here's the deal with this guy.
It's not sexy, but you know what? Mangold and Ferguson weren't sexy, but that's worked out for us.
And I think, by the way, he can play right tackle. Now the knock on him is his pass protection.
Is that Brian Winters?
What?
Is Winters at right or left?
I
think Winters is. Winters. No, we're able to hide his.
Giacomini's the right tackle.
Giacomini. No, and that's where. What's his name? Who should be retiring?
Oh, Cologne. So this guy. So the guy they're talking about from Kansas State, he was the best run blocker, I believe, in the nation last year.
Well, that scares me.
He is the best run blocker. Now his pass blocking wasn't great.
Scares me.
Wasn't great. And that's why they want to. Now that the point for that is they want to shift from tackle to guard because they think that he'd be a better guard. So the scouts are saying he's a guard, but he could still be a right tackle for an NFL team. But it might be another Giacomini.
I don't know, man. When you're out there on an island like that, I don't know.
So it's going to be tough. So I would make him probably right guard. Maybe there's not a lot of people left out there right now though. But maybe try to get some tackle that's available, or bring a bunch of fucking undrafted free agents and see what they could do.
Or just trade your whole
Giacomini was shit. We can't go with Giacomini again. Please don't.
He was crap.
Please.
Oh, Jesus. If Fitzpatrick couldn't run, that would have been 758 sacks last year.
Now, you did mention something, and I want to go over this today. Okay. You mentioned we were at a bar the other day.
We were.
Full disclosure.
Full disclosure.
You mentioned Laquan Treadwell.
Ah, yes.
So
he's going to go to Detroit.
Well, I don't know about that. So Laquan Treadwell
beast
just
ran a 4.6. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, did he hear about?
He's a freak. I don't care.
Was out of the
I don't even care.
Here's my thing.
Don't care. Jerry Rice ran a 4.6 too.
Thank you, and that was my point. And the first of all, before this even happened, he was compared to Anquan Bolden. Yeah. Oh, do we consider Anquan Bolden a speedster?
Oh, he's a bust. He was a 4.75.
Right. So if he's being compared to Anquan Bolden and runs fast,
where is Anquan Bolden nowadays? Oh, probably on his way to a Hall of Fame. I know. I mean, the guy's a freak.
Yeah, and so is Jerry Rice.
By the way, where's Anquan Bolden from?
Right. So I mean, you're talking about a guy that's the Jets need a big guy that can catch the ball in the slot. right? He might not be a slot
Nah,
guy.
you put him on the outside, put Decker in the slot.
But even if you
Corn
have him-
Trouble is a freak.
By slot, I mean more
good player.
more
Man,
inside
when he
routes.
blew out his knee 2 years ago in Alabama, going into the end zone, but then dropped the ball. But still, you know what? I don't blame him.
No.
You blew out your knee going into the end zone. You know what? And it seems like a good kid, gets the ball, plays with his height. That was the whole thing. That's why I never liked the Stephen Hill pick for the Jets a few years ago. Doesn't play his height. 6'4", plays 5'10".
Right.
Steve Smith, 5'10", played 6'4".
Yeah.
It's not how tall you are. It's what you play at.
Yep.
You Brandon Marshall plays every bit of his 6'4" frame or 6'5", whatever. He plays every bit of it. I don't think Eric Decker does. I think Eric Decker at 6'3" plays 6 foot. There's just something about the way guys play. Now I like Decker, don't get me wrong, but I just feel like with Treadwell, he plays every inch of his being. So I wouldn't mind having him. I wouldn't be upset if the Jets drafted another wide receiver, because you have to look at the fact that Brandon Marshall is only around for another year or two. I hope it's not because of a flame out and more of just a retirement. But only time will tell.
What, with Brandon Marshall?
Yeah.
I mean, I like Brandon Marshall. I do think
That'd be great.
I think he. I don't want to say it's not.
Do you think if Brandon Marshall caught 30 passes next year, 3 touchdowns?
That would be a fucking disaster. It would be a disaster. We'd be 4-12, and then you want to see this fucking podcast or 4-12?
Maybe Devin Smith just exploded onto the scene.
Well, no, I think if that ever happened, then I think that he's now putting 100% into that Showtime career he wants, and that's it. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
I think Brandon Marshall's another one of these players, cares very, very much about his reputation on the way out, and I'm very comfortable with going. I think he'll be fine for the Jets.
I mean, so, when you do an evaluation, and this is what we'll kind of get into, if you do an evaluation of the Jets offense this year, you do have Forte as an addition. You have to be excited about.
I think he's got a lot to prove.
I know,
not that he has a lot to prove. I just think he's one of these guys right now that wants to come back and be like, really, I'm washed up. Let me show you. Kind of like LaDainian did when he came to the Jets.
Right.
And kind of like Martin did when he was over 30 and then had the rushing record.
Yeah. And I think,
there is this whole thing. I'm sorry.
He has a lot of traction.
There's this whole thing too about over 30. Over 30. Like, it's funny to me. Like, I every week, right, these guys get on a field and they do battle. I don't want to call it war, because there are men and women in this country that go every week to war. I never want to devaluate that. But these guys get on a field and they go to battle. Okay? So the fact that they're 30, all of a sudden it's discredited, like, oh, the 21-year-old, the 22-year-old be better. But now I take it to the military, and I want to talk about who am I more comfortable going to a battle with. Probably the guy who's a little bit more seasoned, okay? Maybe not as fast or as quick as the other guy, but a little bit more seasoned. So it's just so funny that 30 has become this number. Tom Brady is not 30. He's 37.
Yeah, but quarterbacks age differently.
No, it doesn't make a difference. What I'm saying is he's still 37, and I know Brady's a bad example, but Martin had the rushing record of what, 31, 2? I think it was 32 at 1,796 yards, something like that. Was it 1,796? Maybe 1,400. Anyway, he won the rushing record at his age. There are plenty of players over the age of 30 who still played at a high level.
Right.
Maybe they're just a little bit more of a smart, wily old veteran, but just stop this whole like, oh, well, he's over the hill. Because I got to tell you right now, I'm still going to take Brandon Marshall over probably anybody you're going to get me in the second or third round of the draft as a wide receiver.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I mean,
actually, probably been coming in the first round because he's a wily old veteran.
Right. And that's why the trade was great for Brandon Marshall, the way
Great
they did
trade.
it.
Cost us nothing.
And
then we got Forte for nothing.
I agree. I mean, and when you look at the running backs are great. I mean, you're talking about Forte, Powell, and Kyrie Robinson. And they said Kyrie Robinson, I mean, this is Bill Parcells, said he could be Curtis Martin.
Could be.
So speaking of Curtis Martin, so you have a great running trio, and that's what Bowles wants. Bowles is very similar to Rex Ryan, where he wants that ground and pound offense for good reason. Because
well, I think it's also it kind of hides a weakness in your quarterback play.
Right.
Because if you can move the ball, 3.3 yards in a cloud of dust, it opens up your passing game. Whereas if Tom Brady suddenly ended up on your sidelines, or And Aaron Rodgers or some of these, you might feel a little bit differently, but I think it's important that you have to establish, because what it is, it's not just about having a ground game. It's about eating up clock. Let's shorten the game.
Yep.
If we can get a lead, we can burn a clock.
Right.
We can't get into a shootout. That's what it comes down to. So I don't think Bowles is full. I think if, Bowles had a great quarterback develop, I don't think his philosophy is I still need ground and pound.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I just need ground and pound. I had a weakness right now.
Yeah.
So.
And so the running game is good. The wide receivers are going to be there. You're going to have Marshall and Decker again, who were the best duo last year.
Yeah.
Whoever's the third receiver, we lost Curley.
It's going to be a none more.
Yeah, and
this year,
hopefully he develops into something. I mean, we'll probably get a practice squad guy to fill in as a fifth.
We signed that guy that was actually with the Texans sitting outside the stadium holding up a sign. I like that guy.
Yeah.
A guy who wanted it. He was like, somebody just hire me, and the Jets 6 weeks later.
Yep.
The guy was hungry. I like that. I like a guy with a little bit of a hunger.
Bringing hungry guys for training
like
camp.
That's a guy who sits there who literally sacrificed his. How many players right now sat out last year who would have never ever put themselves outside a stadium holding a sign, "Give me a chance, give me a chance."
Yeah.
No, why? Because you know why? They're too cool for it. Too cool for school. Can't have my boys seeing me like this. I want that guy, because that guy wants to earn a check.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Trevor Riley. What is he, 26 years old when we drafted him, the linebacker for the Jets?
Yep.
Kid's got a wife, kid, and how many kids now? I want a guy who needs a little something. He needs to earn money because he's got something he's fighting for. I want to see that guy get a shot this year.
Right. And when you look at that, I mean,
what's his
really
name?
The issue
We're
with
gonna find his name. Like Johnny something.
The main issue with the offense.
I'm gonna get his talking to the intern. By that I mean Siri.
The main issue with the offense is an aging offensive line, which every team has. Every team has an aging offensive line. When it comes, look at the Giants. The Giants are dealing with it. I mean, the Broncos are dealing with it. They cut a few guys. Every team has one. And our quarterback situation, and which is the key.
Joe Anderson, that's his name.
There you go, Joe Anderson.
Joe Anderson, we want to see you playing this year, buddy.
So
that guy's fighting for
now,
something.
and like I said, I mean, who knows who's throwing to Joe Anderson, and that's the big key with this team.
Could be Bryce Petty.
Doubt it.
Not in the beginning of the year.
Yeah, but not at the beginning of the year. But
why? He's a white kid, slings the rock.
True.
If he was on a Mike Tannenbaum team, they'd already give him an extension.
That's a good point too. But
Mike Tannenbaum.
That's going to be the main problem here. Is it's going to be who's the quarterback and who's going to be the offensive lineman. I mean, because right now we don't even have a right guard.
We already know who's going to be offensive line. We already know it. We could start at center with Mangold, left Winters, DeBrickshaw. To the right, we have
the right is a question.
No, we had somebody in there though. Who was the guy we played in there last year?
Louis Cologne?
No, Cologne's been out the whole season.
That's what I'm saying.
El Carpenter, come on, the guy we got from the Saints, who we just prorated his money. We took him and guaranteed his salary the next couple of years because he was one of the best guards in the league.
Carpenter. But
Bracco Giacomini is the one we got to replace. Or who was the guy we had a couple of years ago? Turnstile. Was it Rob Turner? No, it wasn't Rob Turner. It was the Wayne. What was his name? Wayne, the guy for the Jets. We used to call him Turnstile.
I remember you talking about.
Oh my God, he was Wayne. Oh my gosh, if I called my brothers right now, they would know. Oh, we used to make. Oh man, he was a terrible, terrible player for the Jets. We used to call him like he was like a toll booth. Everybody got through. You know what I mean?
Well, that was like what Vladimir Dukas was a fucking bust.
Remember Vlad was gonna be a stud.
Oh, second round pick?
No, second round pick out of UMass.
Yeah. Oh, what a fucking disaster.
Who they produce? Oh, sorry.
They produced Victor Cruz. So now looking at the defensive side of the ball, this is where I think there's going to be a lot to prove this year. Like you mentioned before, last year wasn't the greatest from the defensive side. They didn't hold leads. They didn't really get to the quarterback, which you assume that would happen a lot.
Yeah, I did not understand that part.
So the blitzes didn't work. I don't think they'll see the problem. I thought last year were the linebackers, and I thought
no, that's the problem we've had for the last couple of years. But we have nobody coming off. We're great run stoppers. We're great. Right. That's why we're one of the best at stopping the run. Calvin Pace can stop the run. We don't have a guy who can come off the edge and disrupt everything. That's why. Look at us. We stopped the run. How many times did you guys break runs on us last year? Most of the time they run stopped, pass complete.
Yep.
We need that guy. And that's why they're talking about Molden. Maybe they're saying maybe this guy's motor, who, by the way, is another one who has a little something to fight for.
Yeah.
You know, his little story. It's a lot.
Yeah.
That guy on the field trying to earn a check.
I think Molden's going to be a great player this year. I think
So.
They said he could be the next captain of this team. Which
him.
You get excited about as a Jets fan because we don't have a lot of guys that come through our system.
So you're gonna have David Harris in there.
David Harris, Aaron Henderson.
Aaron Henderson.
They talked to Bruce Carter today from the former Tampa Bay
I saw
Buccaneer,
that.
Who wouldn't
He
be a
came from the Cowboys though, and was not very good.
Well, here's his problem.
Sure.
He's very athletic, extremely athletic.
Great interceptions.
It's
he's
never
great in pass
come
protection.
together.
No, he's great in pass. He's great in pass
but it's
situation,
just never
which
come
we
together.
lack because Demario Davis was always just running around with his back to the guy, and the guy was always catching
The
the
problem
ball.
is Bruce Carter can't tackle. That's the problem.
Well, maybe that's just it. Maybe we don't need him tackle. Just run with Gronkowski.
If you could
Just
stop,
run with Gronkowski. Run with him.
it's easier said than done. I mean, I don't give a shit if
Do you know what some team needs to do? They need to literally get a 6'6" linebacker
right.
who can run with Gronkowski.
Well, it's a good point that you bring up. So when you look at the Jets defense, I mean, we're now in a division where the Patriots got stronger when they got Martellus Bennett. The Jets cannot stop Martellus Bennett. You have to look at the stats that Martellus Bennett has put up against the Jets because it's fucking ridiculous. We can't stop Gronkowski. We have a problem with Edelman. So there's a problem next year.
The problem wouldn't be if you just get to Brady. That's it.
That's what I'm saying is that we couldn't do it last year. And that's where if he thinks the 4-3 is better, and we can get to the quarterback, then go to a 4-3.
Here's my thing with a 4-3. At least I think that at least somebody can chip Gronkowski coming off the line because I can't believe how many times he comes off the line free.
The only problem
he just comes running out the line.
So it would be either Sheldon or Wilkerson doing that.
Just chip him.
And it's
Put
almost
a little chip. Just a little chip.
It's almost
Do
a
you know
waste.
how annoying that would be if I did this every couple of seconds while we're here doing the podcast? Eventually, this would bother you.
Right.
Is it bothering you right now?
No.
Not yet?
Not really.
I'll keep doing it.
I think if you did it if you punched me.
But I'm saying is every time it comes off, if somebody just jacks him, I think that could help out a little bit.
I agree. I mean, I think
he's also just one devastating knee injury away from being out of the league.
elbow too. His elbow's always been an issue.
Yeah. And nobody wishes it. You know what? No matter how much of a cock as he tries to.
I love shit.
You gotta like.
I love Gronkowski on this team.
You gotta like him. You know what? It's really interesting that he can exist in a Bill Belichick system where Bill's all about tight and sternness and all this and all the cheating. I mean, not the cheating, all that stuff he does behind the scenes, but yet can still have a guy like Gronkowski.
Cheating. I think he was a cheater.
It probably got better after you left.
Well, at the end of the day,
anyway, and he got that crazy weird guy that nobody knows what he does, sitting in office all day manipulating rules. But whatever, we're not throwing that stuff out there. That's not who we are here.
What I'm saying, Jets preview. So
yeah, what I'm saying here is that I think with Gronkowski, he is. You gotta like the guy.
Well, look, I mean, we talked about this last week.
I would. Seems like a nice guy.
I think the Patriots got.
I bet you he had to be better. Good to get laid.
What's that?
I think Gronkowski probably had to be good to get laid. He seems like he would be kind of a gorky guy around women. Like oh.
I think it's fucking. I think it comes like candy to him.
No, what I'm saying is because you're a great football player. Jim, if you're a great football player and you're single, it comes like you too. Yeah. What I'm saying is if you're a kicker and you got great. What I'm saying is I think Gronkowski had to be a great football player to get women. What I'm saying is if he stripped all the football player away and he was just like this 6'6" guy walking down, I bet you there's no game there.
It doesn't matter.
I don't think there's no. What I'm saying, I'm just saying hypothetically, I bet you there's no game there.
Probably not, but I don't think it matters. I think if he, not
maybe the guy was a smooth talker.
It could be.
All right.
Now to win,
knock on the Gronk.
Well, I don't know.
His brothers though.
I actually like Gronk. I have no problem.
He's got 17 brothers. They're all in the NFL.
He's got
one's a fullback, one's a tailback, one's a running back, tight end, guard.
Yeah, his father was like a crazy fucking lunatic.
His dad reminds me a lot of Todd Morendage's dad. You know what I mean? When they were kids, like, get on the weights.
Go in the basement.
What are you doing?
Go in the basement. Let me train you.
Pump some iron.
It's like, Dad, I'm 4. I don't give a shit. Just go in there.
Do not masturbate. Keep that testosterone in your system.
He's like that kid Hercules that could lift like fucking 150 pounds.
That's funny.
It's
like my daughter.
So I think for the Jets, and we talked about it last week about how Buffalo really didn't get better. I don't think the Patriots got better. I think losing what's his face?
Chandler Jones.
Yeah, I think losing him was a big deal.
No, it seems like Bill gets rid of people.
14
when he knows.
sacks out the door.
I know. But you know what? I guess he looks at it this way. It's 14 sacks out the door, and I have to give the guy $40 million
that's what it
next
is.
year. I mean,
so it's debatable on whether or not. I think they got better against the Jets because
do you know what
second
they got
tight
better
end.
doing? You know what the Patriots done a really good job of doing? Of convincing you to come there, take less money with the chance of having a championship. That's all it is.
Yeah.
If you want to get paid, you don't go there.
Right.
You only go there on the chance that, I could get a championship.
And then
when you're Jarrell Revis and you get one, you tell them, they go.
And they also get these guys who, like Steven Jackson last year, Corey Dillon, 7-8 years ago.
Yeah, Dillon was
they get guys that just be like, well, we were great running backs, and like to that point, almost like the NBA does it. Where like NBA, you see Gary Payton all of a sudden a Laker. It's like, wait, what? You were a Sonic for 25 years. It's almost like these guys are like, you know what? I can still play, but let me go to the Patriots because I can win a championship. It's like, okay, well then what the fuck? That's bullshit. But they've earned it because they've won so many championships.
Sure. Let's get off the Patriots. Let's go back.
I think it's important because if you look at the AFC East, I think to win the AFC East, you have to go at least 4-2 against the division. I think isn't that the benchmark? Do you think that's the benchmark? 4-2
works for me.
I think because you have to sweep a team, and you can go 1-1 against the rest.
We went 4-2.
Right. Well, no, did we go 4-2?
No, we beat
Miami twice.
Patriots once.
And Bills once because we lost.
No,
to the
we
Bills.
lost to the Bills twice. We're in 3-3.
3-3. Yeah, 3-3. So I think you have. And
how is it that we can beat the Patriots, but we couldn't pass the Bills? I think the Bills is just there's something about it. They probably got a number.
So 4-2
is
because Rex Ryan plays well against former teams. That's what it goes down to.
Really? Because he never played well against the Ravens because we got our ass beat every time we played them.
That's true.
So he doesn't play well against former teams.
That's a good point.
Unless you're talking about like his Canadian teams or something like that he played at. But we don't. Ravens kicked
if I could say the former head coach team,
I'll never forget opening season 2000 ass beat by the Ravens.
But I think the benchmark is 4-2, and I think when you look at the schedule, and we can go through it quick, and we can go back to the defense. So home against Buffalo, Miami, New England. You know, you got to go 2-1, right?
Sure,
you got to go 2-1.
Well, you just go 3-0, but whatever. That's just thinking.
We could go 3-0 too. Baltimore at home, it's got to be a win.
And by the way, I'm not as terrified of Baltimore as years past. I mean,
but I'm saying these are home. I think
Okay, so Baltimore at home, got it.
Win. So all right, with 3-1, Cincinnati at home.
I'm not scared of Cincy right now.
They got weaker with their wide receivers.
Yeah, Marvin Jones is gone.
Marvin Jones is gone. So is Sanu. Sanu's gone too.
Sanu's gone.
They have AJ Green, who's great, but we have Revis. So there's your counterpoint.
It just comes down to our quarterback situation next year. That's what it really comes down to.
It's true, but yeah, I guess that's true.
But I love playing Cincy at home, and I love playing the Ravens at home. What else?
All right, let's be fair then. We'll say 3-2. Los Angeles at home is a win. The Rams are shit.
They're not going to be ready.
They are so garbage. I can't believe that.
They're not going to be ready for that.
Seattle at home, tough because they're not. Seattle doesn't necessarily play well when they have to go from west to east. But Seattle. But now, no Marshawn Lynch.
But I got to be honest with you, playing them at home, I'm still very comfortable. The fact that we're playing the Ravens, Cincy, and Seattle at home, those feel good to me.
And Indianapolis at home, which is the last.
Those all feel good to me.
So I mean, I think what you have to do with your home schedule is go 6-2. I think 6-2 is comfortable.
I agree with you on that.
So away against Buffalo, Miami, and New England,
of course,
I would think there you have to lose one. That's it. And
you can win them all three.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I mean, I factored in the loss at home. So
this should really be the optimist and the pessimist.
It's true. But I did factor in one loss home and one loss away. So that's their 4-2. So that would put them at 8 wins right there. So they're away against Cleveland.
Got to win that.
You got to
win that. I mean, I know Hugh Jackson is there, but I think he's in a rebuilding process. So I think
figure that's your 9th win if they win in Cleveland. That we just did. Away against Pittsburgh.
Tough.
I don't think they win in that game.
Yeah, it's tough.
Away against Arizona. I don't think they win in that game. Away against Kansas City. I don't think they win in that game. I don't think so.
I don't know. Don't give Kansas City that much credit.
They were so good.
They were
last year. They just kind of crashed.
Houston's out. Justin Houston's out. He's gonna be out next year. But
Jamal Charles is back.
Yeah, we'll see. Okay, all right, whatever. Just give me a loss on that.
And then away against San Francisco. You got to win that game too.
It's got to win that.
So that's 10 wins, which was last year.
No,
that doesn't get you in.
It.
Probably doesn't get you in. I mean, so here's the deal with the Jets. You know,
so you got to steal one, and maybe
you got to steal either. Well, so we
got to steal the Steelers. Got to win
you
the
gotta
division
steal the
games
Steelers.
because the San Francisco game doesn't do anything for us.
We're giving them losses against New England. We're giving them losses and whatever home Buffalo, New England, whatever. That's a loss, and either Cincinnati, Seattle, or Indy, a loss. But we have them 2-1 against Cincinnati, Seattle, and Indianapolis. So give them the Seattle loss, but we still beat Colts, which we should.
Look, if we're gonna lose out of division, that's all ever. That's the biggest problem we had last year, losing in division.
So that's your 2 losses at home. Now your 4 losses would be Pittsburgh, Arizona, in New England, and in Kansas City. So you got to win at least one of that. You're not going to win it probably in New England. You're probably not winning.
We win in New England. We're very good there.
Well, but you're not going 2-0 against New England.
We gotcha.
So either one, you can flip flop them.
You never know. Tom Brady might get a stomach virus.
If that's the case, but then
Bad
fucking Wilkerson and
Maybe his
Richardson
wife
go
beats
down.
him. Just saying.
So you got to steal one with Pittsburgh, Arizona, and you can win Pittsburgh. That's easy. That's
you
winnable.
Gotta steal. You gotta win
Pittsburgh.
the AFC.
By the way,
Look,
Pittsburgh, just because they fucking made the playoffs,
here's the
doesn't mean
deal:
they're great.
lose every NFC game, just win every AFC game.
Yeah, well, that's because Arizona's going to be a tough game. I don't know if they're not.
Arizona's going to be tough. We'll see. I haven't been following their offseason, so I don't know what
they got
they're
Chandler
exactly
Jones.
Okay,
with that trade.
Oh, shit.
who's torched the Jets.
But then again, you know what? Maybe the tape's out there. You just look at what Carolina did a little bit.
Yeah.
Look what they did to Carson Palmer. Just made him Carson Palmer, who was probably up for MVP, who just suddenly went from most valuable stinker. I mean,
well, I'm
terrible.
not worried about Fitzgerald. I'm worried about Brown. I'm worried about Michael Floyd.
Sure, yeah.
I don't think we have
but I don't worry about any of them if you can get to the quarterback.
Yeah,
that's the whole thing. I don't care.
Right.
Like the best shutdown is a pass rush. Get in his face. Let him make mistakes.
Personally,
I don't care how fast John Brown is. By the way, I love John Brown at FanDuel.
Yeah.
But I don't care how fast. Still takes him 2 seconds to get down there. And if Carson's on his butt, boom. Oh, it's like effects here. We're here, but we're coming in. Well, we're here, but we're coming in here.
Now, you could also say typical Jets where we'd win that Arizona
and
game
then
lose in Cleveland.
Yeah,
I mean, so you don't know, but
that's where we get the same old Jets.
But going by what you think, then you'd think 10 wins, possibly 11.
Malbec, empty.
So there you go. I mean,
I like it. I like what you're saying.
And if you go, like I said, if you go back to the defense, we really didn't cover the defense that much. So defensive line.
Okay, defensive line. I think we're stacked.
We're stacked. We're good. That's our best feature.
Linebacker,
that's actually this team's best.
Harris, great run stopper. Problems in pass protection. Hopefully Malden develops. Yep. Henderson. Hopefully we get something. Maybe we draft.
All right. So let's get into the defensive backs. We haven't even touched that.
Okay,
yet.
Defensive backs. Look at our starters as of right now. It's Revis and Skrine, Gilchrist and Pryor. I thought Pryor had a growth year last year at safety.
I think so too.
I think he's only going to get better. So
good
for him.
They'll probably draft another safety.
Gilchrist played well.
Gilchrist played well.
Skrine moving to the outside because that was Cromartie.
Which
Interesting.
Is scary.
We will see.
He was not that good in Cleveland doing that.
We will see. And then, you always got McWilliams, the kid that, is the UDFA, who's been playing well for a couple of years. And then, we keep adding a couple of guys.
And
it'll be interesting.
Look, Mike doesn't have it. I have a little bit of faith. I think D. Miller might have a bounce back here this year if he could stay healthy. And that's
I think he's going to be great.
Well, they said he looked good.
No, he always looks good. He's like Stephen Hill. He always looked good too.
Yeah, I know, but D. Miller did have great games.
D. Miller shuts down every receiver on Sunday. He's like Chick-fil-A, but you know what? Chick-fil-A shut down on Sunday as well. Okay, so quite frankly, anybody can shut.
No, I think that's more of a receiver joke than
it's a joke. I was trying to make it a quarterback joke. It's like Stephen Hill, open every day except Sunday.
Right. That's the joke. Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. I want to, but I mean, what is it? He's going
to be the fourth quarterback.
His first year struggled. Second year, couldn't even stay on the field, which was the knock at Alabama that he was always injured. He'd never missed a game, but always injured. But do you have to miss a game when you have that defense?
I think first year struggled because Rex Ryan got in his fucking head.
Well, they made him Revis. They basically said
because that's what he's. Yeah, I mean, that's like saying, hey, Yankee shortstop. You're replacing Jeter. You're going to be Jeter.
I'm
It's
sorry.
like, no, you're not.
I just think guys either get it or they don't. I don't think you suddenly get in your third or fourth year and you become I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, he's still on the roster.
Well, I mean, I think Prince of Makamura.
To be honest
did
with
that.
you, if there was a chance that we could trade him,
See, I think you have to look at Prince of Makamura. He was injured the first 2 years and became a great player. I mean,
and where's he now?
What did he just signed? He just actually signed a big contract. He left the Giants. He went somewhere else. Jaguars. He went somewhere.
The Giants won't let him go. So why can't we?
Because the Giants let him go because they don't have it. They don't have a. They didn't like Makamura.
So they got rid of Makamura and brought in Janoris Jenkins
because he's a better player.
So, what's your point?
Well, but it doesn't mean that Makamura wasn't a great player. Oh,
I don't think he was a great player.
Not great, good. He was a good player.
He was serviceable.
If we need if Miller becomes a good player,
Prince Makamura coming out of Nebraska was considered like, oh my God, shut down, crush everything, and he's not.
But you don't think if Miller became a good player, it would be a great thing?
We'll see.
But I'm just asking,
he's your guy.
If he became a good player.
Listen, as the season goes on,
he's a sixth fucking overall pick. That's why he's my guy.
Revisit. He was the 9th overall pick.
Whatever.
And
that's why I have faith in him. And plus, that's my.
I know. But Golston was the 6th overall pick by the Jets. How much faith did you have in
I had a lot of faith. I had
a
faith for years until he fucking shamed me, and that was.
Well, what year was that? His 5th year when he went to the Bears.
Yeah, that was it.
That's when you finally.
And by the way, when he got that sack to the Bears in his first game, that's what I was like. Are you going to be fucking kidding me?
Yeah, he was fantastic with the Bears. The best thing about Golston was I still haven't heard anything about him, which means he was probably smart enough with his money. He kept it.
Now he did, but I don't know if you were being sarcastic. I think he had 7 sacks for the Bears.
No, that's fine.
And then he cut him.
No, well,
which I think because he was a fucking
he
head
had
case.
7 sacks in training camp. I mean,
no, I think it was regular. Wasn't it regular season?
Maybe
5. It was up there though for a linebacker.
7 sacks. You
5?
Yes,
I don't know.
Maybe 0.7.
Hold on, I gotta ask my intern.
I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting. We will see about that. You know what we have not touched on, and this is probably the last and final point we really discuss. What really killed us last year, man? Special teams. Special teams killed us.
Bobby April's a piece of shit.
Killed us. And no kick return. Jeremy Curley was like, I'll catch the ball and call it. It was like, and by the way, I don't blame Jeremy for that, but it's like, you put a guy back. There's not really a punt returner. Kick return game was terrible. Kick coverage game was horrible. Punt return, punt coverage, horrible. I mean, that's what killed us against the Eagles. At least win that game and you're in the playoffs.
I was way off on the Golston. Yeah.
What's up?
I was way off on Golston, but you're right. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. What was he? 1 sack?
0.
No. I thought he had a sack because I thought the whole joke was at some point he had a sack.
It might have been in the training camp. No,
yeah, it was in training. Exactly. Because you don't cut a guy on 7 sacks.
Yeah. So I don't know who it was then that had that.
Yeah. Maybe Copels? No.
No, it wasn't Copels either.
No, he was on Miami for a coffee break, right?
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyway, special teams is what's killed us, man. We need a guy.
Well, here's the deal. I mean,
we haven't had a threat back there since what? Brad Smith? Brad Smith can actually take it to the house.
Well, we did have Devin Hester.
Yeah, no, we never had Devin.
I mean, not Devin Hester. Fucking Browns guy.
Cribs.
But
even that wasn't that big. Where like with Brad Smith back there, you were like, oh, this could go. Oh, this, and it did go. So I don't feel like we have a guy, and that's what the Jets.
We brought it. McCadden did bring in a lot of potential returners. None of them were signed, which who knows. It is an issue. We lost Curley, who was our returner last year. He wasn't good. He wasn't
a returner. He was just a wide receiver going back there, catch a punch. No different than when Decker used to go back there and do it as well.
But still, I mean, we don't have anybody.
You got to find a guy. You get this Joe Anderson, earn a check.
Well, usually with kick returners, it's usually through the draft. Usually, it's really a speedster. You draft in the 5th, 6th round. That can, all he needs to do is catch the ball, and he has speed.
Take a hit.
Yeah, well, even that. But as long as you have speed, you've played receiver in college, you can catch. That's all you need. You don't need to run routes. None of that shit matters. Just catch and run.
I wish you would have got the little guy from the Broncos. He came in, had some coffee.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about.
He went back.
I thought they were going to sign him.
No, I think he went back.
Was it Caldwell, whatever?
Yeah, he just Norwood.
Norwood.
So, yeah, he came in, had some coffee.
Yeah.
Probably took a free flight in. Maybe did a little Times Square.
I would take a free flight to New York.
Probably took a little Times Square, visit while I was there. Maybe got groped by Elmo.
Have some dinner.
Maybe got groped by Elmo. Maybe he enjoyed himself.
I'm sure they give him like a filet mignon, maybe a steak.
Times Square, kind of be crazy place sometimes.
Gets a steak sandwich.
And that's it. All right. Hang out with Woody Johnson, get wine. That probably doesn't hang out with Woody.
No, it's probably
hangs out with a couple of people. They say probably did you know what it is? Probably an agent favor.
Yeah.
Agent probably said, do me a favor, bring my guy in so that the Broncos will do this and I'll help you out somewhere else because that's how that shit works.
Yeah.
If you realize how pathetic that is, that sometimes that teams, I was reading about this recently, maybe today, but like teams will bring in a player just to help an agent out to generate interest for that player somewhere else. Why are you so interested in always helping the agents out? It's always
because a lot of times the agent represents a lot of you guys. That's the problem.
Yeah. Oh, that's
if you look at that's why I think the Jets are at a standstill right now with Fitzpatrick, because wasn't he the same agent as Harrison?
Yes, but it's also why he's at the standstill with the Broncos because it's the same agent as
Osweiler?
Sexton of Osweiler.
Really?
So Osweiler repped Harrison and repped.
Man, how is that not a conflict of interest? You have Osweiler and Fitzpatrick in the same free agency.
So
year?
I think in his mind it was I move one, I plug another one.
That's got to be the top 2 free agent quarterbacks he was representing.
I got to tell you, if I'm the Broncos, I just go with Sanchez. Give him a good running game, good defense behind him. Kid played well, got us 2 AFC championship games, and did not play bad in the playoffs.
I think, I know they like that kid, Siemen or whatever. Siemen.
Where is he from?
I try to be nice and say Siemen. He was like the 3rd quarterback on that team behind Osweiler.
Where's he from?
I forgot. I don't fucking know. If you're lucky, I remember the fucking name.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, the fact you gave the guy that took from Penn State last year.
Why don't you just bring in Matt Leinart? I mean, who gives a shit about Sanchez?
Leinart. Oh, geez. Yeah, but what I'm saying is with Sanchez, Sanchez at least seems to put forth an effort. And the thing about him is that he got us 2 AFC championship games. And he did it with good defense and a decent running game.
He did it because he didn't turn over the ball, which he does a lot now.
He turned over the shitload of the ball.
Not as much as he does now.
5 interceptions against the Buffalo Bills. 5.
But that wasn't the first year.
Yes, it was the first. Some teams will do 5 in a year. He did 5 in a game. Go back and look at Sanchez's numbers. They were not pretty.
I'm not saying they were great.
Not pretty. Actually, Fitzpatrick brought us the first year where our quarterback had like almost a 2-to-1 touchdown ratio.
No,
we're usually 1-to-1. Sometimes we're not even at.
Yeah,
we're like 1.75 to 0.25.
Right. I mean, no, I agree. I mean.
And that's the thing about Ryan.
I'll be the first person that says Sanchez got me excited, especially when we drafted him.
I remember his first throw in preseason. At the goal line, went down there, dropped back, and I was
actually at a rehearsal dinner when that happened.
USC guy.
Yeah.
And I was in Vegas for the opening game of Texans versus the Jets, and he won that game, and I was like, "Whoa!" I was in Vegas. I was in rehab.
What do you mean rehab?
Technically not rehab. I think it was rehab the pool party.
What? Oh,
in Vegas they have a.
It's called rehab. You weren't in rehab.
No, it wasn't rehab. No. I never went to rehab.
What the hell are you saying?
But there's a pool party in Vegas called rehab, or was, maybe I'm dating myself. 2009.
Is that? How was that dating?
It was, what was it? What was it?
Is that where Menzel went? Is that his rehab?
No. So what had they call it rehab? Because it's an all-day Sunday thing. Whatever. Who cares? I'm not giving him Vegas money because it's not giving me any fucking money. But if you like to, I'm more than happy to take it for it. More than happy to prep anything you guys want to do. Sponsorships, all excited about here.
I want to go to Vegas, actually.
You ever been? Have you been to Vegas?
I've been, but it was a fucking long time ago.
Oh, Jesus. We'll go to Vegas. I'm not a big Vegas. Seriously.
I'm not a big Vegas. I mean,
but here's the thing about Vegas. Like if somebody ever from Vegas came to us and said, look, I'm going to give you carte blanche. You can appreciate the fact that I'm not a guy who really takes. I don't take advantage. Like, oh, you give me a free room, nice. You can give me a little common dinner, great. But I don't take advantage.
Yeah, but to get that, you have to bet a shitload of money.
It's not that expensive. It's very cheap to get there.
No, I'm saying, but to get comped rooms and steak.
No, I'm just saying on sponsorship on the Malbec and Malt. If somebody wants us to come out and do live from somewhere, that'd be great.
I could do live from Vegas.
Live from Vegas. How great would that be? Live from Vegas.
Oh, God.
Sitting around a pool.
Yeah, we go to Hard Rock.
Actually, you know what? I'd rather do it on a stage. 5,000 screaming Jet fans screaming at us.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, I don't know, man. I think we're done with this.
Yeah.
I think we have milked and exhausted this conversation.
Well, like I said, I mean, to wrap up the Jets preview, and we'll do more.
Let's say this real quick.
We'll do more after the draft, obviously.
I got one for you right now. Ryan Fitzpatrick offered, let's just say hypothetically, offered $12 million to go to the Broncos. Jets come back and say, we'll give you $12 million to come back and play with us. He chooses the Broncos. What do you think?
I think he's a piece of shit.
I think he's fucking smart. I'm sorry, dude. I'm just, listen, I love the Jets, but I mean, like, the guy's got to chase a ring. I mean, and they're
why? Why does he need to chase the ring?
Why? Who
is he to chase the fucking ring?
The goal is to win a ring.
Oh my God.
Listen,
does he want to be the guy that's played for every fucking team in the NFL?
Why not? That's a guy that people remember. That is a guy people remember.
No, I think that would be a slap to every fucking Jets fan who bought his jersey, rooted from, who went to London to see his ass.
Okay, hold on. Let me ask you this. Broncos offer him $12 million. Jets offer him 12.5.
It's even worse if you say he went to the Broncos. It's even worse.
I'm just asking you.
It would be opposite.
Where does he go?
Jets. He has to pick the Jets.
I'd like him back.
By the way, if it wasn't about the fucking money, he would have went to the Broncos already.
I know. Well, it is about the money. No, I don't think it's about the money with the Broncos, because I don't think the Broncos have offered him.
Yes, they already said they did. They said they brought him to the table. He said, "What do you want?" And they laughed in his face.
Yeah, of course, because they said $16 million. And I'm like, no.
So he could have said, "Hey, all right, well, what do you want to give me?"
Because you know what I do is I give Von Miller $32 million, and I have him play both ways. Von, you're my linebacker, and you're just going to be a guy who takes snaps and just runs the ball.
Now, full disclosure about Mike, he's the one that says J.J. Watt is not worth the money.
I don't think he's worth the money.
So you think Von Miller's worth the money?
Here's the deal. No. What I'm saying is moving Von Miller to I was making a joke.
But who's better, Von Miller or J.J. Watt?
Von Miller.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Von Miller.
I don't know.
That's who played in the Super Bowl last year?
What does that?
Does make a difference? It does make a difference. Where have the Houston Cowboys? Hold on. Where have the Houston Texans been? Oh, what do you mean quarterback? They didn't have a quarterback last year. Broncos played with a very, very sad at times Peyton Manning and Osweiler. They did not have great quarterback play. They didn't have a Tom Brady.
I would take Peyton Manning over Ryan Mallett and a fucking.
But they didn't have Mallett. They had Hoyer. Mallett was gone, but they cut Mallett like week one.
But they had him for 6 weeks.
So here's the deal. All I'm saying is J.J. Watt is a great player, but at the end of the day, look at the last couple of years. Broncos have been in AFC championships. Where have Houston Texans been?
Yeah, but
all I'm saying is if you
Von Miller was in
Ferrari, if you drive a Ferrari and you live in your parents' basement, maybe you sell the Ferrari, get yourself a Honda, and get yourself your own space. That's what I'm saying about J.J. Watt. He is something that you should look to move, and maybe you don't get his same production, but maybe you get it between getting a good guard, you get a good guy, you get this, you get that, you get a couple of extra pieces.
I'm shocked.
I'm sorry. Have the Patriots won a Super Bowl with J.J. Watt? Did they need a J.J. Watt?
I'm shocked that you said Von Miller's better than J.J. Watt. I'm shocked.
No, Von Miller. You know why? Because Von Miller said this. Cam Newton gets rid of the ball in 2 seconds. I'll be there in 1. And you know what he did? He was there.
Yeah, but J.J. Watt had like 20 sacks.
Doesn't make a difference. J.J. had 20 sacks because his offense was so sad. He was on a field. What was their record? They squeaked into the playoffs with a shitty, and this is what bothers me, shitty AFC South.
Yeah, but you have to,
shitty AFC South.
But you have to give him credit where he was.
He's a great player.
He was an MVP.
But he's a great player on a shitty team. It doesn't make a difference. He's a great. What are you doing? Like, here's the deal. J.J. Watt is a great player. The problem is, if I am the owner of the Houston Texans and I'm looking around, I'm going, I need more places. I need more pieces. And I'm staring at my Ferrari and everything else is a fucking 87 Datsun. I got to sell my Ferrari.
I think we're talking about two different things. I completely agree that Houston is garbage. And I completely agree that Watt is probably the best thing on that team. But I do think that Watt is probably the best defensive player in the league.
No, Von Miller.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Miller.
I don't think so. I think as far as disrupting a game,
Von Miller can get there in 1 second.
So can J.J. Watt.
Really? Because if you got there in 1 second, they would have won that.
No. You can't put it on. Was it J.J. Watt at 20? He had more sacks than Von Miller last year. Plus, he batted more balls down. What the fuck do you want him to do? You want him to fucking break everybody's necks?
Hold on, let me see. Von Miller.
I don't know. And by the way, if maybe J.J. Watt had DeMarcus Ware on his team and fucking Chris Harris and cornerback and Aqib Talib and those other fucking guys, Brandon Marshall.
Oh, that's what you're saying? No, making excuses now.
And not to Jadeveon. By the way, Jadeveon Clowney is the most overrated player.
And by the way,
next to Reggie Bush that ever came out of the college.
First off, let's back out too, though. You said that I said that you should get rid of J.J. Watt, and that's how this originally opened up. And all I'm saying is I am the guy that says you should trade him. Houston. You need more.
I have no problem with trading him, but I just think I do think though JJ Watt is the best defensive player in the NFL.
No, you're just giving him all that credit because of everything else he does as well. I'm saying he's maybe
what does he do
when he gets on offense and makes
no, I don't give
touchdown
him credit
catch.
for that. I think first of all, I think that's bullshit. I don't like that shit.
I think he's the second best player.
I don't know.
Von Miller proved last year he is the best defensive player.
So
for
so
2000.
So did Richard Sherman prove that 2 years ago?
What did Richard Sherman do 2 years ago except talk all the time?
He was the best defensive player on that team?
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
He was the best defensive player on Seattle's team, really? Because that whole defense was the best defensive player.
Richard Sherman shut down
Richard Sherman.
I mean,
Shutting down Michael Crabtree is
he was the best 49er on that playoff run.
Yeah, exactly. That doesn't say a lot.
Oh,
that doesn't say a lot.
Harbaugh's teams are different than whatever Thomas Sula put out.
Do not tell me Richard Sherman was the best player in the league because he shut down Michael Crabtree.
But he was.
Tell me he's the best player in the league because he shut down somebody who's worth it.
But who is
Michael Crabtree is a number 2.
But who is okay, all right. So maybe Crabtree's a bad example. Look at what he did. I mean, come on, Sherman.
By the way, this is what we call overtime.
It was. Oh yeah.
We tried wrapping out 5 minutes ago.
That's true.
But you know what? No way.
But who? So
do
who's
not
better?
tell me with me that he shut down Michael Crabtree.
It was an example. But who is better than him on Seattle's defense?
Okay, hold on a second. So we're going back.
Not
2
Bruce
years ago.
Irvin.
Hold on, we're going back 2 years ago.
That was like 3 years. Was it who? When they
the
lost
year
the
they won or the year they lost?
The year they won.
The year they won.
I'm talking about Super Bowl winning team.
That secondary, that legion of boom back there that they had, that whole secondary was a great team back there.
He's better than Cam Chancellor.
Oh yes, I'll give him better. No,
you just
no. Hold on. No, he's not better than Cam Chancellor. Cam Chancellor's the reason why nobody came across that field. And last year when Cam Chancellor sat out, all of a sudden there was issues, and then he got on the field, and it was like, no.
He single-handedly beat Aaron Rodgers in that Packers playoff game.
He single-handedly beat Aaron Rodgers.
He picked him off twice, Mike.
All right,
and he knocked down 7 balls.
I'm gonna give it to you. I don't say Richard Sherman.
That's what else can you do?
Who won Defensive Player of the Year? Who won it
in that year? I don't know.
Well, let's take a look real quick. No, let's take a look really quick.
I'm sure it was JJ Watt.
I'm sure it wasn't. Because you got to be a winner to do that.
JJ Watt's be the fucking MVP this year.
Defensive Player of the Year. What year is that? 2013, right? Let's see who it was. Defensive Player of the Year, 2013.
13.
JJ Watt did win it in 2012.
And 13 was Kuechly. 14 was Watt. 15 was Watt. 15 was Watt.
Still don't think it.
15 was Watt.
Oh, Jesus.
And 14 was Watt. And 12 was Watt.
Don't care. I think.
And by the way, Kuechly was a gift.
Do you know what? Listen, and we're gonna end on this. Do you know why JJ Watt was voted Defensive Player of the Year?
Because he's on the field so much.
Because he's white.
Oh, yes. Oh, come on.
That's it.
Well, actually, you had a good point because Kuechly's white and he won.
No, yeah. Kuechly's
so then Sherman should have won. Sherman's the best black defensive player.
Well, he didn't win it, and quite frankly, Von Miller should have won it. So
Von Miller actually, I take back that Von Miller was the best black defensive player this year.
Sherman was in 2013. Second place because of the black thing.
No, I just don't think he had a better year than JJ Watt.
I thought he was a monster.
Anyway, he was a monster and a great defense.
I thought he was a monster.
So, if you look back at the steel curtain, any one of those guys could have been best. You can't really pinpoint.
They all are. They're all in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. So you could look at right now at that defensive Broncos defense and look at DeMarcus Ware and Von Miller. They're Hall of Famers.
I wouldn't say DeMarcus Ware is a Hall of Famer. Hold on. DeMarcus Ware is not a Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of Famer by name.
No, he's not. Look at his Cowboy years.
He is a Hall of Famer.
His Cowboy years are one of the best ever.
Hold on. I'm talking to our assistant right now about that. Let's see. Maybe is DeMarcus Murray already a Hall of Famer? Okay, I don't really think so about this.
Look at his stats from the Cowboys.
Let's see. He ranks 19th in all-time sacks.
Okay, and he's still playing.
Yeah, right. He's Hall of Famer. Right.
I mean,
JJ Watt's the best. What am I going to do?
There you go. Fine. See, as long as I break you down enough,
as long as I side with you that you like all the white guys, so it's fine.
I just said Richard Sherman was the best.
No, you didn't say that.
Okay.
You said if Richard Sherman was white, he would be one of the best guys. No, you didn't.
You get a lot of heat for that shit.
I'm just kidding. But seriously, the whole thing about that is that, quite frankly, is that
the Buccaneers. So I will.
No,
say
hold
this.
on. Let me just back
All right,
out
go
because I
ahead, go
really
ahead.
want to clarify the fact because I don't ever want people to think that we're being racist. But
That's
the thing
okay.
is, what I'm saying is with like a guy going back to Ryan Tannehill because he's a good-looking white guy who drops back and makes some passes and completes here and that. People give him all these props. And I feel like a guy like E.G. Manuel has had a little bit of success and blah, blah, blah as well. But because he's an African-American quarterback, most people, oh, well, he's a bust. But I haven't seen much from Ryan Tannehill, so why does he get all the props?
I know with that point, I agree with you, and I agree that there is a bias in this. And here's the deal, and I know we're kind of going over.
Yeah,
the NFL has an issue, and I think it's more associated with the NCAA, where the black quarterback has to run.
yeah.
And it's not racist. It's nothing. There's no racism involved here. It's the truth. It's look at an EJ Manuel, and I think people look at them like, well, maybe he can scramble. Jameis Winston is another guy. He's a pocket passer.
He's pocket passer.
But you look at him while he's black, he could probably run. No, he's a pocket passer. RG3 is a scrambler. And guess what? RG3 has no knees left because he's a fucking scrambler.
Man.
Cam Newton.
I don't want my quarterback leaving the pocket.
Cam Newton takes the hardest hits I've ever seen. He's a big guy.
He's a pocket passer.
He's a big guy.
He's mobile, but he's a pocket passer.
He's a mobile pocket passer.
Funny thing is, Aaron Rodgers is actually very mobile.
Yeah.
He's a pocket passer.
Aaron Rodgers and Cam Newton are kind of the same guy, but people look at Cam Newton and say, oh, he scrambles. No, he
Not really
doesn't.
the same size, but
I'm saying
one actually looks like he was chiseled out of a.
I didn't mean same.
I know
I didn't mean
exactly
same
right.
size. I mean same player.
Yeah,
same
gotcha.
player.
Well, Ben Roethlisberger, quite mobile in the pocket.
Yeah,
he's a pocket passer.
Right. When you look at now, here's the deal. When you look at pure pocket passers like a Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, yes, maybe Randall Cunningham is the one that comes to mind.
Yeah.
But I don't. You're right. I can't think of an African American quarterback that just stays in the pocket. Okay, that's fine. But
Geno technically is a pocket passer. Geno doesn't run.
he has ran.
He has run.
I think this is what it is. I think when you look at the NCAA and you look at the systems they do, and you look at an RG3 and Baylor and what they've done, it is run first, throw second a lot of the time. And I think that's what that stereotype comes into the NFL, where it's like, well, it's great. I think, Jameis Winston, let's just say him for an example. All right, you have a great arm. You're accurate, but can you run? No. Oh, I don't know that. It's like, well, wait a minute. Well, what does that have to do with anything? Did you ask Tom Brady that?
Well, but that's like saying Marcus Mariota. I mean, he was a runner at Oregon.
Yeah. And that's, but that's what I'm saying though, is that I think that's become the third, where it used to be throwing power and throwing accuracy used to be your two measuring sticks for quarterbacks. Yeah. And when I became, when I'm looking at a quarterback and I'm a scout, I'm saying, what is your power and what is your accuracy? And if you look at the NFL Pro Days and all this bullshit they put on NFL Network, that all those drills are them throwing and down the field. How accurate can they be? How strong can it be? That's what they're rated
pretty
on.
accurate.
Now, if you notice what I saw on the NFL Network, they're measuring speed for quarterbacks.
Yeah, I saw that.
Are you fucking kidding?
I know, I saw.
And what?
But
Tom Brady runs a 6 in the 40. He's all of a sudden going to be a third-round pick.
Yeah,
what does that even mean?
He was 7th-round pick.
No, I'm just saying though. But like,
no, I get it. No, and I don't understand. Like, if I'm a quarterback and if I'm like a Christian Hackenberg coming out of Penn State, and like I'm not running the 40,
saying the wrong things.
What's the big difference? Like, what really? What you know? What actually? If I'm a scout and I'm sitting there and I'm going, "Oh, we need a 40s," and a guy like that steps out and is like, "I'm not running the 40 because I don't plan on running." I'm like, that's my pocket passer. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, I agree.
That's my guy who's going to sit about. That's what I've always said about great quarterbacks is that they're the guys, what I call the broken leg quarterbacks. Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, Drew Brees, whatever. These guys, they lose more yards a year. If you look at their rushing yards at the end of the year,
because they're kneeling half the time.
It's actually negative.
Right.
Because the thing is, they've always played the game from the tackle box. They've always been in here. And that's how they play the game. So that's the quarterback. I don't want the guy. I get nervous when I hear this quarterback's rush for 900 yards. Great. I don't want him.
Yeah. I mean, okay. Russell Wilson probably is the antithesis to that. But take him out of the equation. Take him out. Look at every quarterback who's won Super Bowls in the past, 10 years? You can even go, You can go probably back 15 years if you wanted to. Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady.
Yeah.
All right, Aaron Rodgers, he could run a little bit. But
doesn't mean he's still a pocket passer.
He's a great passer. So guys,
that's
Roethlisberger, guys that stay in the pocket and throw the ball. And that's what it is. And, Mike has a point where he says it. It's that there is a bias among African-American quarterbacks. And, you know, there aren't any in this draft. I don't think in the top 3 or 4 quarterbacks that I'm looking at. It's that white quarterback who is over 6'2", has a strong arm, right? Has a accurate arm, maybe can scramble, goes a little bit mobile. You know, and you look at a Goff and a Paxton Lynch, right? Lynch.
Paxton Lynch.
So these guys are 6'5", 6'6" quarterbacks that have a strong arm.
Well, Cardell Jones is going to get a look though too this year. Anyway, let's get off this. Let's save this for next week.
All right.
Anyway, listen, I'm Malt. I'm Mike.
I'm Jim, and I'm. Wait,
I'm all back. I do it all out of you. I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing anymore.
And like I mentioned before, so Mike will be gone for
just next week.
For next week, I will be bringing a person named Chris, who is a huge Giants fan.
Have you got the approval from Chris already?
Yeah, he's in.
Oh, that's nice.
He wants in, so he will be discussing the New York Giants. We'll have a New York Giants preview of 2016. It's going to be an interesting podcast. We're going to be talking about the signings they just did, what he thinks about Tom Coughlin, what he thinks about the new offense, what he thinks about Victor Cruz.
And I'll tell you,
back.
I know what he's going to think. He's going to be opinionated.
Yeah, and it's going to be very entertaining, and you know, tune in for that. So, like I said, this is Malbec and Malt.
I'll be back in 2 weeks.
Mike will be back in 2 weeks, and we'll see you then. All right, guys, take care.
Thanks, guys.